Welcome everybody, how are you? Today we are going to talk about an important math concept called the parallelogram. The parallelogram is a quadrilateral in which each two opposite sides are parallel, such that, look at this, ABCD is parallelogram. Each two sides are equal lengths. Each two opposite sides are equal lengths. AP equal DC and BC equal AT, and line segment AP parallel the line segment DC, and CP is parallel to DA. ABCD is parallelogram because line segment AP parallel line segment DC, and line segment AD is parallel to line segment P3. Properties of measuring the figure ABCD. In the parallelogram, each two opposite sides are equal lengths. EB equal DC and PC equal AT. In the parallelogram, each two opposite angles are equal in measure, such that measure of angle of A equal measure of angle of C, and the measure of angle of D equal measure of angle of B. In the parallelogram, the sum of each two consecutive angle is 180, such that C and B, measure of angle of C plus measure of angle of B equal 180. In the parallelogram, the sum of each two consecutive angles is 180. Okay, measure of angle of A plus measure of angle of D equal 180, and the measure of angle of B plus measure of angle of C equal 180. In the parallelogram, the two diagonals are bisect each other. Look at A, C, and DB is a diagonal. In the parallelogram, the two diagonals bisect each other, such that AC and DB, this point in the middle, between DB and AC. Look at this parallelogram. ABCD, AP equals 6 cm and measure of B equal 130 degree, and BC equal 10 cm. Complete. AD equal, look at AD equal BC equal 10 cm, and measure of C equal measure of A. Each opposite angles are equal in measure. Measure of angle of C equal measure of angle of A. Okay, measure of angle of C equal space plus degree. He want to find this measure of angle of C. Okay, so it's subtract 180 subtract 130, because he want to find the measure of C. The measure of angle of C equal 180 subtract 130, it will be 50 degree. It will be 50 degree. Okay, measure of D equal measure of B, measure of angle of B equal 130. The perimeter of parallelogram ABCD equal, we write the side lengths of BC plus the side lengths of PA in brackets times 2 equal 10 plus 6 times 2. The result will be 16 times 2 equal 32 centimeter. This is the perimeter of parallelogram. Okay, such that rectangle. Look at this properties of the parallelogram. Number 1, talking about sides. Each two of the sides are equal in length. AB equal CD and BC equal DA. Look at this parallelogram. AB parallel DC and AD parallel parallel BC. About angles, each two opposite angles are equal in measure, such that measure of angle of A equal measure of angle of C and measure of angle of D equal measure of angle of B. The sum of measure of each two consecutive angles is 180. The sum of measure of each two consecutive angles is 180. And what about diagonal? The two diagonals bisect each other. Special cases of the parallelogram: square, rhombus, rectangle. What about rectangle? Rectangle A, B, C, D. The four angles are right. Measure of angle of A equal measure of angle of B equal measure of angle of C equal measure of angle of D equal 90 degree. The two diagonals are equal in length, such that AC equal DB. It's a properties of rectangle. The four angles are right. Measure angle of A equal measure of angle of B equal measure of angle of C equal measure of angle of D equal 90 degree. The two diagonals are equal in length. And what about rhombus? Rhombus ABCD. The four sides are equal in length. AB equal BC equal CD equal DA. The two diagonals are perpendicular and not equal in length. The two diagonals are perpendicular and not equal in length. AC is perpendicular to BD and AC not equal to BD. And what about square? Square ABCD. The four sides are equal in length. AB equal BC equal CD equal DA. The four angles are equal in measure and the measure of each is 90 degree. Measure of angle of A equal measure of angle of B equal measure of angle of C equal measure of angle of D equal 90 degree. The two diagonals are equal in length and perpendicular. AC equal BD and AC is perpendicular to BD. Important summary: the relation among quadrilaterals. Quadrilateral convert to parallelogram or trapezium is divided to, such that parallelogram or trapezium. Parallelogram convert to rectangle or square or rhombus. The relation among the special case of parallelogram: the parallelogram is rectangle, convert to rectangle if one of its angle is right or if its two diagonals are equal in length. Okay, again, parallelogram is a rectangle if one of its angles is right if its two diagonals are equal in length. Again, the parallelogram is converted to a rectangle if one of its angles is right, convert to a rectangle if one of its angles right or if its two diagonals are equal in length. The parallelogram is a rhombus if two diagonal sides are equal in length, if its two diagonals are perpendicular and not equal in length. Okay, and what about square? The parallelogram is a square if one of its angles has two equal adjacent sides. Again, the parallelogram is a square. The parallelogram is a square if one of its angles is right and has two equal adjacent sides, or if the two diagonals are equal in length and perpendicular, or if two adjacent sides are equal in length and its diagonals are equal in length, or if one of its angles are right, if one of its angle is right and its diagonal are perpendicular. So parallelogram can convert to a rectangle or a square or a rhombus. The parallelogram is a rectangle if one of its angles is right or if its two diagonals are equal in length. The parallelogram is a rhombus if two adjacent sides are equal in length of its two diagonals are perpendicular and not equal in length. The parallelogram is a square if one of its angles right has two equal adjacent sides. If one of its angles is right and has two equal adjacent sides. If the two diagonals are equal in length and perpendicular, or if two adjacent sides are equal in length and its diagonals are equal in length, or if one of its angle sides are right, or if one of its angles is right and its diagonal are perpendicular.